The single from the album is the same title, The Hurt and the Healer, and this song specifically came out of a couple of moments out of this past year. One was my cousin was a firefighter in Dallas that was killed in the line of duty, and you know, we kind of became we kind of took a lot of the responsibility taking care of their family, and he's like a brother to me, and his wife, and left a wife and a 10, 11-year-old son and daughter behind, and it was devastating, you know, to stand at the altar at this funeral with 3,000 firefighters from all over the country, and to have the opportunity to say something to them was, you know, I've talked in front of a lot of people, but it was a pretty surreal moment to talk to them about how God is still bigger than this. It was just a really crazy moment. I kept finding myself going back to Ecclesiastes 7 that talks about it's better to be in the house of mourning than the birth of a child, and really kind of confused by that until, you know, you kind of realize that when you have a child, everything's hopeful. Everything's like, oh, this kid's gonna be amazing, and you have the whole life ahead of you. But man, when you go to a funeral, you do have those moments of understanding what's important and what's crucial and what's vital, and you want to be a better husband, a better father, and love your kids, because you know you don't know when it's going to come to an end, and you know, you do walk away with a sense of, you know, I feel like I have more life in me right now than I ever have, because you are thinking about the things that matter. And I believe that's what Ecclesiastes 7 is talking about. And the sad part is a lot of us have to go through these devastating moments to get to the point, like this absolute collision with the healer, to realize who they're supposed to be. That's where the song comes from, is just, you know, we have all these questions, but the truth is, if they were explained to us, the hurt would be the same, because that's not where the source of healing comes from. And so yeah, it's not just about this year, but it's about years and years of going through some pretty difficult seasons, and it's all this is kind of feels like it's kind of coming to a head. You know, when you feel like you can't talk about it enough, all of a sudden God lays something in your heart that's totally new. And we also had a chance this year to do a USO tour and go to the Middle East and spend time with the troops, and to tell them thank you to their face, and to hear all these stories about how songs like I Can Only Imagine and have brought them through some pretty difficult times. And you know, it's pretty crazy when you start doing, you don't know what to expect. You start doing a concert and there's, you know, 50 to 100 people, and by the time you get to I Can Only Imagine, they hear that song, not really, because the song's totally bigger than we are. You know, you have 4,000 or 5,000 that are there that just walk in as the song's playing, and they're like, I had no idea that was you. And just then you hear all of these stories, how they've, you know, the song has gotten them through such hard times of losing, you know, the troops, losing people from their battalions, and you just have no idea the reach that your ministry can truly have, and so it turned our world upside down, and so yeah, so all that's kind of played a part to what this album has become. I'm alive.